Welcome to the very first episode in my Build in Public series where I show you my development process for a new app that I am building called Mark. This is a operating system for anybody who creates content, whether you're a social media manager, a digital marketer, or a content creator. This is an operating system that functions like an LLM, so like ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok, but it is tailored to your specific business, your specific brand, whoever you are as a user. Mark is specifically tailored to you, and it is basically an operating system that has all of the core functionality that you need to do your day job all in one system. And I am extremely excited to share this with you guys. I've been developing it for the last about 2 months, and I'm trying to get my soft beta launch out in January. So let me show you what I've got. Now, this is going to be a premium tool with a premium price. It will be a subscription model. I don't have the exact pricing nailed down just yet. That's TBD. But yeah, that's what it's going to be. So anyways, let me just kind of get into it. I'm going to show you the actual meat and potatoes of what this is. Instead of just talking about it, I'm actually going to show you. So here we are in the UI. I'm in a test account right now. I'm currently in what I would probably consider this alpha testing right now, maybe even slightly still pre-alpha. But we're getting pretty close to alpha and then beta stage. So this is your homepage when you go to Mark. It will be usemark.app. If you wanted to navigate to the actual marketing site, so this is the homepage for the marketing site, usemark.app. Here you are, right here. You can go ahead and join the early access waitlist right now if you're interested. I would highly recommend. So there you go. And then I give you a little bit of a roadmap of where we are leading into what I'm looking to do as a beta in January. So we started development. This is a rough estimate for the exact date. I don't remember the exact date, but it was in October. And then right now I'm currently, like I said, in roughly alpha testing right now here in December. And my goal is to have a soft beta launch January 22nd of 2026. And this will be with my waitlist subscribers. So if you want to be a part of that, go ahead and subscribe to the waitlist. Like I said, premium service. And then I've got some examples of kind of what it is, but I'll actually walk through that today for you. Again, join the list. And then I've got a couple blog posts here to explain for you, what Mark is, where the development is at, essentially what I'm going to be doing right now in this video. So that is the actual marketing page. But now going back to Mark, this is the homepage. When you log in, you've got an account, you've already done your onboarding. This is what you jump into. So first things first, it'll know the timing of the day for you. So good evening. It is the evening for me, and it uses your name. Good evening, Brendan. It's kind of a little personalization. You can immediately right here jump right into talking to Mark. So if you have a prompt, if you have a question, if you have something you want to work on right here, just like ChatGPT, just like Gemini, just like Grok, whatever LLM out there that you use, this functions exactly like that. So you give it your prompt, you jump in there, you immediately start your conversation. It will open up a thread. We call them threads here in Mark. And then you've also got your projects up here, and I'll get to that in a second. But this is something that I really, really like. I've using currently the GPT 5.2 model with web search. We've got right here, these are every single morning at about 6 a.m. local time for you. It will automatically in the background generate daily news stories that are tailored to your brand, your business, whatever your onboarding has stated about you as a user. It will generate you news stories every single morning that are within your niche. So it kind of helps you to stay up to date with whatever is going on in your niche. So like for this test account is it's for Mark. So it's kind of like a little Inception thing. It's Mark for Mark. So it's always giving me AI-based news stories, AI and marketing-based news stories. So this, for me personally, is like super helpful because there's always things happening all over the place, and it's hard to keep up with what's going on. So this is a really cool way of getting a snapshot every morning. When you jump in here, you're starting your day. If you're a marketer, you're starting your day. If you're a content creator, you're going to start your day just like this. You're going to jump in here, and you're going to use Mark, and you're going to see these news stories. And it's a nice little way of like, okay, so this is a little snapshot of what's happening. So really like that. And then you got a couple things down here that you can use. These are not fully functional yet. I'm still kind of playing around with exactly what I want to have down here, but this is kind of an idea of visually what it'll look like, and then we'll have some actual function here. You can click on this one. That one will take you somewhere. This will take you to the dashboard. This should take you to the knowledge page, which I'll go through. And then I'm assuming this will take you to the calendar page. Yes, as I thought. So not exactly what I want to have long term, but it's kind of something you look at right now. So this is the home page. Next up, let's go to the today page. This is where we're at here. So something for me personally in my day-to-day marketing job is I literally use a sheet of paper for the stuff that I do. Like when I literally every morning I sit down and I write down like my to-do list of the things that I need to do today, or like the things that are rolling over from previous days. My to-do list, I literally physically write it down, which is nice, but you'll see the commonality of what I'm trying to build here is that everything that I currently do and what a lot of creators and marketers do is scattered across multiple different tools and multiple different places. I want to unify them. I'm trying to create a operating system for creators that has just about everything that you need for the most part on a day-to-day basis outside of specific creating tools, all here in one system. So this page right here, the today page, is super simple. It's basically a big to-do list. As you can see, I've got a lot of to-do lists on here, but I literally dump my ideas right in here. So I'll just show you. This is a test, and it's super simple, but bam, now I have a test. This is a test, bam, just like that. Oh, look at that. Did I just find a thing that I need to fix? Okay, so I need to fix that. It doesn't update in real time. Okay, so there you go. Little live building in action situation. So this is super simple, and it's not fully feature rich either just yet. I need to add some more functionality and some UI elements, but it's literally just a to-do list. It's a place to throw my ideas, everything that I need to get done today, I can throw it down there. And if I need to add something specifically to the calendar, let's say tomorrow, I need to add something, I can say, I can literally put whatever I need here, and I can create the event, and there it goes. It's tomorrow right there on my calendar. I'll also have notifications. I have notifications set up as well. It should give me a notification. I think the timing is like an hour before or something along those lines. That's not fully developed yet, but that is a functionality that we'll have, is to have in-app notifications for those things. So there is that. That is something I need to fix right there. Yep, that's something that I actually, that's still on my to-do list to fix. Okay, so that's the today page. Now let's go over here to the Idea Lab. This is a really cool thing that we'll see how it works. I really like it. I think it's a neat idea. Literally what you see here is what it is, an idea lab. So like if you're trying to brainstorm a new type of content or a campaign or, a new venture that you want to do, like if you're trying to introduce a new product, you can come here and literally just start throwing out your ideas. So let's just say I want to do some marketing for Mark. Okay, now, ooh, is it bugged right now? No, it's bugged right now. You got to be kidding. Okay, of course. Well, it's supposed to go through a whole system. That's development in real time for you. Okay, I guess I can't show it to you just yet. Awesome. I guess I'll show it to you next time. I'll throw on some screenshots of what the actual system looks like. But basically, you've got 3 phases that you go through here. You've got the dump, the organize, and the clarifies phase. You throw your ideas, you literally do a brain dump of your ideas right here. Then you can go into an organize phase, which is basically a canvas. You can kind of organize, cluster ideas together, move them around, and visualize your idea, the thing you're trying to brainstorm. And then you can go to the clarify phase. And that's where Mark will actually analyze what you've written and intelligently give you suggestions, ideas, help you to think through certain things to come up with a cohesive idea, something that you can actually move forward with and execute on. Then what you can do from there is you can actually export this idea into a project or into a thread if you want to have the further conversation with Mark about it. So I can actually show you one of those ideas that I exported is right here in my marketing push, and I'll show you what this projects page actually looks like now. So this right here was actually originally an idea, part of the Idea Lab, and I exported it here into the projects. So the projects is essentially, it's a thread that you can see right here. It has the full functionality of the threads, but it's got some interesting things here on the side that you can kind of use to build your project together. I'm going to be kind of making this a little bit more robust to be cohesive for like campaigns if you're a marketer, or like series if you're a content creator, or like sponsorship campaigns, stuff like that. I'll kind of put that all together into this project system. But basically, you'll be able to get a TLDR. Mark will consistently, because you can continue having this conversation, and Mark will consistently put together a TLDR of essentially what this is all about. So you can always refer back and see exactly what this is about. He'll give you a brief as well, and then actionable tasks based off of what you've talked about. I haven't actually done anything with this project yet, so you don't see any of those things. I think I have some here in this one. Yes, okay, so here I can actually show you on this one. This is a different test project that I created, kind of asking, what is the one thing that sets Mark apart, and it's our persistent brand memory, which I'll get to that. But it gives you TLDR. The artifacts, I don't have this functional yet. The brief is him kind of going over, giving some very deep specifics about what you're talking about, and then actionable tasks that he generates, based off of what the project is about. And then any assets that you put in here, any images, any files, anything like that will live right here as well, so you can refer back to as you need to. If you need to see the original thread, you can always click on the view thread, and it'll take you back to the actual original thread itself if you need to do that as well. All right, so that was the projects. And again, the projects, this is another one that I put together here. This is actually kind of talking about the pricing. Well, a little sneak preview about the pricing. So there you go. So here's some tasks, some briefs, the summary, everything for this pricing model analysis that I've been trying to think about. Okay, so that's the projects. This is kind of where you take a concept, something you're talking to Mark about, and then you put it together into something that you can actually complete, a project. All right, now let's go to the calendar. Pretty self-explanatory, but I kind of look at this as like if you guys have ever used Notion, they've got a really great calendar system. And I want to be able to have something that's functional, kind of like Notion, but again, in this one cohesive operating system. So it's not fully feature-rich yet. I haven't completely gotten it perfect yet, but it is a pretty functional calendar right here. You can add things to, as you see right here. You can edit, delete as you need, just like that. It's a calendar. Keeps your stuff organized. Okay. And then, of course, you can come up here. You can create a new thread if you need to and have a chat with Mark. And actually, let me go ahead and just show you this how this functions. Hey there, Mark. What up, my guy? Okay, so Mark is using GPT 5.2. That is the model that he is using by default. I am considering, and I'm going to go through the process of figuring this out, allowing for the user to select what model they want to use. I also want to allow image generation through the different models as well. So that's something I'm actually gonna start looking at right now. Right now, he's just using GPT 5.2. It's the most recent, most robust model. But I do think having the option to specifically select what model you want to use is probably a good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. I think that's in my to-do list, actually. Let me see. What do I have in my to-do list? Let's see. Yeah, the image gen model. Yep. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, yep. Okay, so you're seeing this as I'm doing it, bro. Like this is fully as I am creating it. Okay, so I'll go back to that. So one thing to point out. Oh, and that's a little UI thing that I can adjust right there. Okay, look at that. Developing real time. It's a little UI thing I can fix. So right here is the thread UI and exactly how it works. So this is the thing that's really interesting about Mark. I use ChatGPT every single day. I use Gemini all the time. But the thing is, these LLMs are intentionally designed to not remember everything about you. They are designed not to do that. So they can remember certain things about you. And if you know how to intelligently prompt them, you can make it where they can remember certain things, but they will always forget. They always will forget. They have a certain context window that they can retain information. And outside of that, they will start to forget things and hallucinate. Also, they will not pick up something that you mentioned in one thread and refer to it in a new thread or a conversation or a chat in the various LLMs. They just won't do that. So for me, that's been frustrating and something that I really don't like. It's annoying. I really would like for my AI assistant to remember the things about me. So that's what I'm trying to put together here for Mark. Mark has persistent brand memory. That's number one. You get that through your onboarding, and I'll show you that. But you do an onboarding where you answer a bunch of questions, you give it a bunch of information that is safely, securely stored. And Mark takes all that information and it creates a knowledge base for you, the user. And that is what it knows as its context for you. So every time you talk to it, it's using that context. So it has that persistent brand memory about you. It's always going to tailor any suggestion, any help, any strategy based off of your business, your brand. Whatever you onboarded, it will tailor everything specifically for you. And it won't be androgynous. It will be specifically for you, which is huge. That's number one. Number two is cross-thread search. So like I said, if you use ChatGPT right now, you will not be able to have ChatGPT refer to something specific that you mentioned in a completely different chat if you're in one chat. It just won't do that. Mark will. Mark will be able to do a cross-thread search to identify something that you talked about in a different thread. So let me give you a specific example of exactly how we did this. Let me see here. I'm going to go back and figure out. Let me show you. You know what? Let me do this. Let me do this because I've done this before and I know that it works. So we'll just create a brand new thread. Again, we'll say, hey, Chief, how you doing? Just like that. It's going to generate its response. Doing good, locked in, just like that. Bam. And it will also stream the response too, just like ChatGPT and other LLMs. I have forgotten, what did we decide on for the pricing model of Mark? Now, I know I told you earlier that the pricing is TBD, and the pricing is TBD. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I've been kind of going back and forth with things. So this is something that we previously discussed. So watch what happens when I ask this question. I seem to have forgotten what we did or what we decided on for the pricing model for Mark. When I send that prompt to Mark, he's going to analyze the question and then watch what happens in UI. Loading conversation history. Now he's looking through the threads. He's going to identify where in any threads we've talked about it, and then he's going to give his accurate answer. So right here, this is awesome. And then it's important to note, every single time he does a cross-thread search, he's going to give you a citation of exactly what was said in what thread and when that thread was created. Bam! I mean, that's just freaking awesome. So let's actually read this and validate that it's actually true. We decided to keep Mark at $79.99 a month. That is accurate. That is the pricing number that I've been working with internally. Again, it's TBD. As the primary plan, which will be called Mark Pro, that is correct. We didn't move to $39.99 as the default price. Reason why he mentioned that is because in my pricing model analysis thread that I also created into a project, we were discussing this, and I was trying to figure out what the difference would be in terms of revenue and value proposition between $39.99 and $79.99. That's why he referenced that. $39.99 only wins if a blah, 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 and it's going to provide its context for this. And then let's say, okay, right, I just mentioned to you how we talked about the $40 versus $80 in a previous thread in the pricing model analysis. You click that, it takes you to the thread where that conversation was happening. I'll just show you another one, a more farther back one. The Mark pricing and model thread right here. This is where we also decided on Mark Pro at $80 a month. I mean, come on. Like, this is freaking cool. Unless I'm crazy, this doesn't happen in ChatGPT. Now, yes, you have projects and you have folders in ChatGPT where it will be able to reference specific information. If you give it knowledge files, right? If you can upload files, you can give it a certain basis of knowledge that it will work with. But again, it's not going to directly reference and cite its source for things that have been talked about in previous threads. This is my eureka moment for Mark. This is what I love so much. Now, I'm still in development. I started development in October. Like I'm still working through this stuff. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this or not. I've never developed a product. I've never done any software development, no engineering. I took one Python class in college. I hated it. I got like a C. It was terrible. I've never done anything like this before. I'm just vibe coding, figuring it out. I'm using Visual Studio Code, Claude, Sonnet 4.5, and ChatGPT. And that's what I'm doing. And we're figuring it out. And I'm loving it. But this is what we put together. Now, we can also do some things here. I like Discord. I'm a user of Discord. You can pin messages in here. And bam, it kind of similarly looks like how Discord looks, right? You got the pin message up at the very top, gives you a little preview. Then you can drop down to see the whole thing. You can jump to the specific message that you pinned right there. You can remove it, copy it, all those things just like that, which I think is a pretty cool function that, unless I'm crazy, doesn't currently exist in ChatGPT. So I'm really excited about that. You can also pin multiple messages. So I could pin my message up there too if I really wanted to, even though that's, in this particular instance isn't needed. So there you go. You can see that. That's how threads work. That's how the projects work. A little bit more about the UI itself. You can collapse this just like you can in other LLMs. I think it's a pretty cool, function here. You can search threads. I don't have that function actually working yet, which I need to put on here. Fix the search function for threads and projects. Okay, there we go. On my to-do list. See? Here we go. It's working. All right, let me show you a couple other things here. We have this is another really, really big aspect of Mark and what contributes to the brand awareness, the memory, the context that it has, the persistent memory. It's this knowledge and files section. So I've kind of tried to develop this and kind of make it look a little bit kind of like a Google Drive or like a Dropbox kind of thing, so it's familiar to the user. But essentially, what this is for is if you are, let's just say that you are a social media manager for a business, right? And you want to use Mark as your marketing operating system. So you have a bunch of files. You have brand guidelines. You have product descriptions. Maybe you have PDFs that break down individual products and their product numbers and what they're intended for and how they work for the user. Maybe you have styles of how you create content. Maybe you have examples of previous graphics that you've made for social media. You can upload all of that content, all of those files here to the knowledge and files page here for Mark. What happens when you upload it, you will upload a file and Mark will analyze it. Make sure, this is just a basic thing here. So Mark will analyze the file, whether it's a document, a PDF, an image, whatever. There's certain files that it will accept. It will analyze. It will create an AI summary for itself based off of what it learned about that file. And then it will inject that information into its knowledge base, so it will always be able to refer to that file whenever you are talking to it. So if you are asking it to generate content for you, it will be able to refer to whatever you have in here. Let's say you've got a product and you need to do an infographic on your LinkedIn for that product. You can say, help me to come up with some different posts for the next couple of weeks because I'm really trying hard to push this product. It will use what it knows about that product and generate its proper strategy and copy for you based off of what it knows. So the more context you give it through giving it more files, the better it's going to understand you and your business and help you to really, do what you need to do. This is huge. I absolutely love this. You can do part of this right now in like ChatGPT. Like I said, if you create projects or if you can create like a custom GPT, you can give it files, but there are limits. And again, it doesn't have all these other functions, right? The memory and all that stuff. So it's kind of like piecing together a lot of awesome pieces that I like from other tools and kind of putting it together into one tool, which I really, really love. So this is awesome. Really, really like this. I'm still working on the design. There, everything in here is still under construction. But yeah, that's kind of what it is. Okay. And then let me show you. This is actually not current. This dashboard page was made a while ago, and basically all of this stuff is placeholder. So we'll just kind of move on here. This is not current at all. Settings. The settings page right now is currently completely bare bones. Again, this is old. I haven't updated this. There's a ton that needs to go in here. But I will mention, since we're looking at it, the social media connections. So right now, I do not currently have API connections for social media, but this is what I'm planning on doing. I really want Mark to be an operating system for content creation and marketing. That's what it needs to be. In order to do that, you need to be able to connect directly to these social APIs. So Facebook, Meta, so Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter is a different story. That will be something that we do at scale when we have more revenue coming in, because you have to pay like a bunch of money for the Twitter API, which is kind of annoying. But YouTube, Google Analytics, TikTok, yeah, and then LinkedIn, and then Google Analytics, and then also email APIs. And I initially want to start with ConvertKit, and then from there we'll expand, but ConvertKit is a good place to begin. So this is the idea. I will, once Mark is a complete beta product and we have users, I will then go through the process of getting the APIs connected. It's something where it's kind of harder to do the API connection right now when I don't have the whole thing built yet. So I know it will work. It's just not in a point right now where I can do it. But basically, the idea is to connect all of those APIs. So what you can do through just simply talking to Mark, you can hand it a graphic and say, hey, generate me my copy for this product because we're trying to push this campaign, and go ahead and schedule it for tomorrow at noon on such and such socials, and it will do that through a prompt. A simple prompt, it will do all of it. On top of that, because it will have the connection through the social API, not only will it be able to immediately send posts, schedule posts, it will also be able to analyze all of your social data. So all of your analytics, your performance, how posts are doing, what posts are doing what, and it will be able to inform itself and learn. That's the other thing. Mark is designed to continuously learn and adapt. That's how he is designed in the back end. He will learn based off of your performance what to strategize and push to get better performance on your content. That's huge. And then the other thing is that with the Google Analytics, as well as these social APIs, it will be able to consistently and constantly track trends and what is really doing well on these social platforms as well as on Google. It will be able to identify what is happening, what's doing really, really well at any given time, and it will be able to inform its strategy based off of that. The other thing is with the email API integration, you'll be able to do essentially the same thing. You'll be able to track your email performance as well as draft emails, schedule them all in a simple prompt, and have it all sent out just like that, which is amazing. So that is a huge feature set that I don't have done right now. It's a big undertaking to do that. I'm just not quite there yet. That will be something that will happen probably throughout the beta release of Mark. I don't think that will happen prior to. I'm trying to get my MVP done by the end of the year, and then I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then January 22nd is when I want to do my soft launch for the beta. So that's here, but the last page I want to show you here is the brand profile. So this is not currently updated. As you can see, there's a lot of fields that are not completed, but this is sort of the crux of what makes Mark tick for you, the user. Your onboarding. Now, we're calling it, I went through a whole fiasco with the back end for this, but we're going to call it your brand profile, but it's your onboarding. Essentially, what this will do is when you create an account, you'll be able to immediately be thrown into the onboarding. And from there, you will decide, what kind of user you are. If you are a small business, if you are a content creator, if you are an agency, as you see here, these different types of archetypes, this is what we're calling you. We're calling you user archetypes. Whatever you are, whatever archetype you are, you'll be able to jump into that onboarding specifically, and you'll be able to answer a ton of questions specifically about your business, so Mark can be as knowledgeable as possible about you and inform itself for everything about what you are, the user, so it can be the best assistant it possibly can be for you. I'm not going to go through it because, as I said, this is not completely done yet. I need to do some updates. I need to actually finish the total designed for this. This is a really big undertaking, so it's something that's been taking me a little bit to get through, but we will get through that. And you will be able to also, when you have completed your onboarding, you will be able to go back to your individual data that you have put in there, and you'll be able to adjust if you need to change something or update something over time. You can go in and do that, and it will dynamically adjust in the back end to understand that you've fixed something or changed or added or deleted something out of your onboarding. So it will be able to do that and know that. You also will be able to ask specific questions to Mark about this. So we're going to do a live test here. This was something that was driving me crazy a couple days ago. I took like an entire day of troubleshooting this just to come to the conclusion that apparently these LLMs are specifically designed to not allow you to, like if you were to ask ChatGPT, or in this case, if you were to ask Mark specifically, what is in my onboarding, it will specifically tell you by default, because it is designed this way. It will say, I can't tell you what's in your onboarding, which is mega frustrating, because it's like, you need to prove to me that you know this stuff, right? So I basically had to come to the conclusion of, okay, so I understand you can't say onboarding. So we've decided to change the UI and everything so the user understands that it's their brand profile. So then you can ask Mark, hey, Mark, what do you know about me from my brand profile? And watch it completely make me look like a liar here. But it's going to go through. It's going to take a look at its stuff, and then it's going to go ahead and tell you here. All right, what do we got here? Yep. It's going to tell you some things, and then you can ask it some specifics. So like if you know something specifically about your brand profile, like maybe you have an ideal customer persona, I can ask, what is an ideal customer persona of mine that is in my brand profile, that is in my onboarding? So I can ask that question, what is an ideal customer persona of mine? And it will, right now it's currently analyzing past conversations because it knows that I have previously talked about this in a thread, and I have. So this is what it's going to tell me. Yep, Sarah the solopreneur, that is in my brand profile, that is in my onboarding, that is specific data that is in my database. It's going to give you some specific answers, as you see here, and it will also give me citations from previous threads where we have actually talked about this. So the go-to-market planning, we also talked about this. And this is where I was actually kind of testing and trying to figure out stuff. So there you go. There you go. All right. Well, if any of that interests you, I know I've been blabbing for forever now, but I just kind of wanted to do a walkthrough of what I'm building here with Mark. I'm so excited about what I'm building here. Like I said, I've never done anything like this before. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying to create a product for me. Like, I'm honestly super excited to use this for my day job as a social media manager. I'm really excited because it's going to actually help me to do a better job of what I already do and keep myself organized and everything. So I'm really, really excited just for myself to be able to use it. And I'm hoping that there's other people out there who will also find it interesting. So if you are interested here, like I said, I'm looking January 22nd, 2026 to be my soft launch for the beta. If you want to get into that beta, you got to jump into the waitlist. So jump here, usemark.app, go ahead and join the early access waitlist. Just give me your first and last name so I can address you, and then your email address, and then you'll get an email in your inbox right away from me. And then, from there, you'll get any correspondence that I send you, and then you'll be able to get early access to the beta for Mark in January. I'm really, really excited about this. Let me know if you have any thoughts. Like if you've watched this and you're like, yo, this is a stupid idea, or yo, this is an interesting idea. Like, have you thought about this or whatever? I'm totally all ears. I'm open to thoughts, concerns, ideas, whatever it is. I'm totally up for it. So please let me know. Thank you for watching to this point. If you have been, that's crazy. I appreciate your time. I'm really, really excited about this. And you can check out my socials as well. If you're at all interested, right now I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube creating all this content. So if you're interested, definitely check me out there. Join the waitlist, and I hope to see you guys soon. It is almost Christmas, so if you celebrate, Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays to you. And the next time you see me on one of these types of videos will probably be in the new year. But otherwise, I make vertical short form videos here every couple of days, usually on the social media platforms. You can also check out the UseMark app blog. I might have some more correspondence for you here as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. I hope you found this interesting. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.